Good morning. Episode 3 of the Hammock Log. Episode 3, and first day that I feel like I don't necessarily want to do this, but I'm gonna push through and do it. But not that I don't want to do it. It's just that I don't want to do it. I'm like tired and my body aches because I started going back to the gym. And those first mornings after I start going back to the gym are always so achy. Like my body's like, ooh. Is that lactic acid? Is that what it is? Is that what people say? Lactic acid buildup or something? I mean, it feels good. I'm 34 years old. And I feel like I'm still physically capable of pretty much everything I've ever been capable of. So I'm kind of glad about that, you know. It's gonna get weird when I start to feel like I lose physical capability. When does that start to happen? Well, I guess probably the first thing is gonna be like my back is gonna start to ache in certain ways that limit me from. I don't have to do that. I don't have to really condemn myself, right? Like if I keep doing yoga, I think I'm mainly thinking about my dad and what his physical journey has been, and thinking maybe I'm gonna follow it because I'm, genes. But no, I don't think so. No, I don't think I'm gonna. I mean, I'm sure there are things that I'm gonna be impacted by, like I know that my family has a history of prostate cancer, so that's something that I'm conscious of, and when I hit my 40s I'll start checking out my prostate, making sure it's all good. I have to admit, like, I'm not really ready. I haven't really thought too much about physical aging. For now, I'm just thinking about body aches and breathing and waking up and mental health. Wow, yeah, that's really it. I think the past couple of years have really been focused on mental health. Physical health a little bit too, but I've never really had to work for my physical health. Like, I feel like I'm pretty strong, and honestly, like, I've never had to struggle like many people do, and I really admire people who do have to I don't want to say struggle, but work hard to keep their bodies from like getting to an insane BMI level. And to those people I say thank you for taking care of yourselves. I'm honestly very lax about diet, for example. Like, I don't really, my wife kind of keeps me on track diet-wise, but if it was up to me, I don't know, my diet really wouldn't be anything too strict. Like I have a strong, like, for me, my ultimate candy is a cold Coca-Cola. Like, basically, I think it's like 300 milliliters or something, or 250 milliliters of carbonated sugar water and carbonated high fructose corn syrup water. And I love that shit. I love that shit. And I know it's bad. I know that, it's not an ideal thing to consume, but man, it brings me so much joy. It connects me to my childhood, and the sounds of the Coca-Cola opening. It's like, that wasn't really what it is. Like the little can thing. Oh, it's just like triggers something deep within. That is like a pleasure zone. Good job, Coca-Cola. You own me in that way. Which is why I have to think about how to create some distance. So like I know I don't buy Coca-Cola on my own. There's no Coca-Cola at my house. I drink Coca-Cola exclusively at like restaurants and my parents' house. My parents have Coca-Cola. My mom and I, we've started this little banter about it, and it's really cute, like it's like she knows that she doesn't want me to drink it, but she can't help but get it so that I can enjoy it. And so like her subconscious desire to provide me joy is stronger than her conscious desire to keep me from drinking Coca-Cola. Well, because I think at a deep level she knows that a Coca-Cola, when I go visit them and I drink a Coca-Cola, it's not really going to affect me that bad. Shout out to my mom. Thanks for all the Coca-Cola. Love you. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that today I woke up and I'm like, this is today, because of how I'm feeling. I don't necessarily want to talk to the camera or to myself or whatever this is. But I'm committed. I'm gonna do it. Mental health. Yeah, I could totally see how in like the chapters of my life, 2019 until 2023, my main dedication was mental health. Like developing mentally to a level where I feel comfortable trusting myself that I'm not crazy and I'm grounded and I can handle anything from a mental standpoint, And I think that's true, Maybe not anything, like if my society, like let's say all of a sudden, like from one moment to the next, my community turns into Gaza, and I'm in like Gaza. Like I don't claim to think that my mental health would stay strong through that kind of experience. Like devastation everywhere I look, genocide, children dying. Nothing really starts to make sense anymore. I think, yeah, I would probably lose my mind a little bit. I didn't want to really get into Gaza, but damn. What the fuck? It's such a crazy thing to be coexisting with. Like, what the fuck? I really hope the destruction ends soon. Like, it doesn't make any sense anymore. So much hate everywhere, and it's not looking good. To all my Palestinian friends that are watching this, love you guys. To all my Israeli friends who are watching this, love you guys. I do, but I have to admit it's like tough. It's like, oof. I have some Israeli friends who, you know, I've talked to, and they try to justify what's happening, and I watch the news and I see the Israelis justifying what's happening, and something's missing. Like, I don't think you can really justify what's happening. Like, there's no actual way you can do it, but obviously it's happening. So it's just like anything a single human does, you know. A husband loves his wife, and is still able to cheat on her and justify why it's happening. I guess it's a lack of mental health, ultimately. And that makes sense. If I was in that situation, I would probably also be involved in some sort of hate against the other group of people, because that's what happens when mental health caves and creates this jagged mental landscape. Fear and hate have a space to grow. And so I'm really happy to know that right now, at least right now, my mental health is not jagged, smooth. It's really, I can feel it. It's like coal. It's got this glimmer to it, like. And I'm not just saying that because I feel that. I'm saying that because it's been put to the test recently, you know, with conversations that I've had with my family, with my friends, with my wife. My wife yesterday, she called me in the morning, and she was like, I've never experienced, she's far away from me still, she's in Alaska, I'm still, thousands of miles away, and she called me, and she just looked like something deep had shifted, and she was struggling with her mind to a level that I had never really experienced from her before. And she knew that she had to talk to me about it, because there's just, she reached that point where, like, what else can you do? And I could see it in her eyes that she was just like really trying hard to find the words and the path to be able to share what these thoughts were with me. She took a while. It took like 30 minutes or so, maybe, of like just realizing that was the best thing to do. And getting over the fear that she might hurt me by sharing what she was going to share, and that, she'd never really spoken it out loud. It was just in her mind. And so she was afraid that if she spoke it out loud, then it became real, Anyway, all these things were happening, and so I just said, look, you gotta trust me. I think I can take this. I think I can handle this, and I can help you, and it's not gonna hurt me. Try me. Trust yourself. Trust me. If you can't trust yourself, this is what I said ultimately. If you can't trust yourself because you feel like your mind is what's triggering a lot of these issues, then trust me and trust the universe. And she did. And she told me. And I didn't once feel like I could be hurt by this. I think that was my first signal that my mental health is strong, that I can handle information coming from left field, information that might not be pleasant to hear, uncomfortable information, and take it, understand it at a core level, and then do my best to help, literally help come back to center. And that's what I did. Over FaceTime, for a while after she told me, we just talked, and I saw her do a complete 180. And something did shift within us yesterday, but it wasn't negatively, it was positively. I think yesterday was a beautiful showcase for both of us of just how grounded I currently am. And that groundedness comes from primarily working on my mental health from 2019 until 2023. Yeah. And I'm not really going to share how I did it, because I think every journey, mental health is so complex that I would never, ever claim that there's some sort of path that I'm like, Guru Pablo, this is how I did it. No. All I can tell you is that I have memories of feeling like I was crazy, feeling like I was trapped inside my mind, feeling like there was a huge disparity between reality and what my internal landscape was, and that created a lot of turmoil. And I remember experiencing that from like, maybe the earliest would have been like 4th grade, when I was like 9. I started kind of noticing that there was some sort of strong mind action that I didn't quite understand. That was a little freaky, like I remember being 9 years old and having a voice in my head and thinking to myself, like, can't really control that voice. I remember being, this is the memory that I'm kind of pinpointing because it's the loudest. Maybe it happened other times, but I remember playing in one of those like Game Boy Colors, which was one of my favorite toys. I remember playing Pokemon like red or blue or whatever, on a Game Boy Color. And this is around the time that my family moved from Colombia to the US. And I remember being in my room in the first place we lived when we came to the US. I was 10 years old, playing Game Boy Color and having this voice screaming at me. Not necessarily screaming at me like shitty things like you suck, but no, just like screaming like like stop and like do something else, and like what are you doing? I don't know. I don't even remember what the voice was screaming at me, but I remember thinking like, why is this voice screaming at me? And I was 9 years old. 10. And I remember, when I was 25, starting the company, and 26, and the anxiety, and I struggled with anxiety so bad, guys. Like, oh my God. I struggled with anxiety so bad, and it really affected me at the core. And there's some highlights, like, I remember one day, there's 2 days I remember when I was 26. One is when I had an anxiety attack. I was driving and I felt like I was having a heart attack, and I recognized that I needed help, and I called 911. An ambulance came for me, and I tried to reach someone on the phone, but nobody would, so I just kind of waited there, and the ambulance came, and then I got on the ambulance, and then as soon as I stepped foot on the ambulance, psychologically something shifted, and the pain went away, and the anxiety went away, and they took my vitals, and they were like, "Bro, you're good." And I was like, "Really?" They were like, "Yep." And I know that day has a huge impact on me, because that was the moment in which I was like, "Holy shit. My mind has an insane power over my body." Because I was feeling physical pain. I was feeling physical pain in my chest, thinking it was a potential heart attack, and no, it was just anxiety. Crazy. Another day, I remember, around that same time period, I remember wanting to watch a movie with my girlfriend at the time. And something took over me, some sort of like shivers, and I was just shivering in anxiety, shivering. And I remember my girlfriend put me in this hot bath, like I was like a super hot bath, and inside the bath, where it was probably like 105 degrees, I was still shivering, like for a while. That is insane. Like, the shiver response is a response that the body uses to warm itself up by like burning ATP, right? Like, like I need energy, I need heat, because I need to keep the body at a certain temperature. And it took a while. It took like an hour or so of me just like talking to her. She was sitting right next to me. Thank you so much. I don't know if I've ever thanked her, but her name is Rosie, and I cannot thank you enough for holding me in those moments, Like, god damn, thank you. That was crazy. That was insane. And then, I guess everything really came to a point in 2019 after we broke up, me and that partner, and that opened up this huge like void in my life, which was awesome. That was the space that I feel like I needed to just look at myself and acknowledge all the mental health issues that I was carrying. And little by little, bum 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 bum, I feel like I got myself to a good spot. So yeah, that's my story. I don't know. Maybe I don't really it's I don't really want to feel like I'm guiding. I just want to read, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know who would want to watch these videos. I just really want to, this is really my journal, like, this is for me mainly, and I'm using a public medium for fun and because it definitely helps keep me accountable, you know? Like, I'm on this public journey now. Like, I can't fake it. Like, am I gonna journal every day? Let's see. But I know that if I was just recording these and they were staying in my hard drive, it's just not. I've tried that before, I think, and I definitely have. Not with such consistency, but yeah, this is great. And mental health. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I think today might be a short journal because I'm not really feeling it, you know? Like, I'm tired and I don't really necessarily want to look at the camera. Just kind of looking around. Let's see, maybe if I look at the camera it triggers something. Some desire to share more about what's happening within me.